Kia ora everyone, what's up? And welcome back to another episode of Hori's Tell Stories. Very excited to be back in the building. Look, just a quick mention, you'll notice that this isn't Levi.
There's no alopecia here, funny.
Now, look, just a special mention out to Levi. Unfortunately, there's been a sad passing in his family and he's had to shoot off back home. It happened yesterday, which is very sad news to us. And we just want to give a special mention to the Punga family back home. We're thinking about yous, and we can't wait to see you again, Levi. All good? Cool. All right, so, to the left, Coach Job.
Kia ora whānau. How is everyone?
Good, brother.
All
Good.
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Good to
Nice.
be back.
Feels weird, bro, on the left.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of time while Levi's doing his intro, bro. I've got a bit of time to just set up.
Yep.
Yeah, but you went straight in there, bro.
Yeah,
it caught me off guard.
I
to
actually
the
feel
left.
a bit more uncomfortable with you sitting there, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Stealing my limelight. Now, hey, look, today we've got a special guest. Very fortunate as always. Look, our guest, he's a bit of an athlete. You may have seen him on Australian Ninja Warrior. He's competed many times, and he's actually the first person to win Australian Ninja Warrior, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yep,
Thank you.
Thank you. He's also got 155,000 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Holy wreck.
Yep.
33,000 Instagram followers. I wish we were there.
Same, if we're only 3,000. All bought from India.
And he's got over 100k TikTok followers as well, and he's also a music producer. But we'll get into his story, and that's Ben Polson. Welcome, brother.
Boys, you're making me feel good already.
Yeah,
Jeez,
yeah,
I come here every week.
You're a big bugger, bro. You're intimidating.
No, thanks for having me, boys. It's good to be here.
Appreciate you giving up your time. All right, firstly, we stick to our usual pit and peak. Do you want to start us off?
Take it away, Will.
First.
Take it away, brother.
First,
you're
bro.
first.
All right.
Yep,
Pit-
you're in Pong seat, so.
Obviously, I come back from Thailand, and I thought I need to get stuck into something. I've got 7 days worth of vapes in my lungs. I've got the old, Tiger Lao, about 4,000 of those, fucking ready to piss out. So I thought I need to
Do
get
they
back.
have a Winnie's Blue like vape? Is that like a thing? Because if it's not, it should be, I think. And Winnie's Blue is it's top of the notch stuff. I feel like your cigarettes.
I don't smoke
There's a
or
market
vape,
for
bro.
that.
I don't smoke or vape, but I got it in Thailand, and then I've had a couple of sucks of pongs. I'm on the street buying my own one, and then waking up hungover in the morning, I'm not grabbing the water for the dryers, I'm grabbing my vape, like it fucking caught me. But I started the second phase, so I completed the 75-day hard challenge last year.
Well done.
Yep.
And I wanted to start phase 2. So I thought a good time to start was after Thailand. But 9 days into it, boys, I've already failed.
No.
You have to do the 3 critical tasks along with everything else. My workouts have been on point, nutrition on point. But my critical tasks
Wait, let me
were...
guess. It was no masturbation, wasn't it? And you failed.
Who would put that in there, bro? None of the abstinent stuff for me, bro. But... I failed on the reading. I had a big night on Monday. I had 11 clients. I had
10 pages in.
I had a 15-hour day, and then Tuesday morning I needed to get back up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I just missed the reading. So it might seem so minuscule, but it's a real good challenge to keep you on point, and only you know if you haven't done it correctly, So keeps you real accountable. So that's the pit of the week, boys.
Nice.
Pit of the week, and the peak of the week, boys. Shout out to Big Daddy Brown as well. He's fighting Lucas Brown. He was on the podcast. He's fighting tomorrow night against Jarrell Miller.
Best of luck to him.
Yeah. Big Baby. That's what his name is. He's fighting Big Baby.
Is it
Big
Baby?
Daddy versus Big Baby.
He looks like a big bastard too, bro.
The two bigs.
Yeah. But the peak of the week, boys, I've hit one of my goals. I've told you about it. I know we don't like to talk about income and stuff like that, but one of my goals that I wanted to hit for personal training, I have hit that goal financially, bro. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Congrats,
Awesome.
brother.
And in the PT world, I imagine that's not the easiest thing to do. I've dug into that myself.
Yeah, I was very scared, but everything that I've put in place now is humming. So
Good stuff, man.
yeah,
That's
hit
awesome.
one of those metrics that I wanted to hit, and I hit it. I said to the boys a couple of weeks ago, and I've really
Now it's
flown past
momentum.
it.
Got to
Momentum.
maintain it.
That's
Yeah,
it,
man.
bro. Nice
stuff.
Congrats, bro. Ben, over to you.
Right.
Hit.
I would say, can I start with my peak?
You can start with your
Always
piece.
All right.
nice, beautiful.
Yeah. It's weird to end on a pit, but
Yep.
mate, you'll get it in a sec maybe.
Yep.
So I think my peak for me was getting a dog.
Yep.
So
Nice.
got a little puppy, 9 weeks old, and it's a cavoodle. His name's Leo.
Yep.
Leonard dog, I
Yep.
call him. And so that's been really good, having that energy around the house and everything like that.
Yep.
And I think the pit of the week is the fact that he shat everywhere in the
I was
house.
going to say, puppies are fucking, man.
Pups, yep.
And Mum stepped in it, and she walked all through the house, and then this morning as well, laid in its own piss and then ran around the house. So
Yeah.
I'd say there's a bit of a pit
Awesome.
and
Yeah.
a peak there. Yeah.
Dogs, bro.
Dogs, yeah. You got to be patient.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've had to deal with that too. Nice, brother. Look, my pit is our cameraman over here. Today is his last day with us.
Oh.
Unfortunately, no. It's look, he's going on to I would say bigger and better things. He's doing what makes him happy, which I'm glad he's doing that. So.
I'm getting YKTR vibes here, bro.
Oh yeah, I know. Everyone's leaving.
The
Yeah.
jump ships.
Yeah, don't leave, brother. I'll be fucked. I'll be fucked. But no, just a big shout out to Dino for what he's done since
Shout
the
Dino.
beginning. He came in he just started photography. He come in, and bro, we've seen you grow since you've been here. So appreciate the work you've done for us, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Good stuff.
And the peak, I went to Bali again.
3
last
times
week.
in 4 months.
Yes,
Jesus.
3 times in 4
Someone's got a
months. Yeah, I've got a bit of a Bali addiction.
Love the Bali belly, eh, bro?
I avoided it this time. I'm
Nice.
actually notorious for Bali belly.
Yeah.
I think the first time I got Bali belly was because I was swimming in the pool with my mouth open, bro. Just
That's it.
That'll
That's
do it,
usually
bro.
one quick way to,
That'll
to
do
get
it, bro.
sick.
Yeah.
that'll do you. But now look, so me and my partner, because how I work 2 and 2, she had a week off booked from the start of the year. And we were actually going to go down south, and we just looked at the prices for like an Airbnb or like a nice, little hotel or something like that. And the prices were ridiculous, man. You're looking at almost close to $1,500 to $2,000 just for 3 nights. And then I looked at the flights to Bali, $450 return. So I just said, no, fuck this. Let's just go
crazy.
to Bali. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just got a nice private villa, as you do in Bali, $230 for the whole
Damn.
time we were there.
Making me want to go.
Yeah, bro.
Seriously, I haven't been for many years. I used to
Yeah.
go a lot when I was younger. I spent a good month there, a couple of times
Yeah.
surfing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I say surfing. I really mean bodyboarding.
Bodyboard,
Yeah, let's be honest. You're all friends. But yeah, I've always wanted to go back, but obviously COVID kind
COVID
of
and
shut it
that.
down. But what's it like? Like, would you vouch for it and say it's good to go?
Yeah. I'd say it's good to go, but like certain areas are kind of died out. Like Canggu is like the spot that's like pumping now.
Oh, cool.
That's where everyone goes. Canggu, like Seminak's kind of the same. Kuta, where everyone used to go to Kuta and party up.
Bit quiet.
That's dead. Like,
Yeah.
it's dead now. There's no one there.
Not a bad thing, though.
Nah.
Not a bad thing.
But yeah,
Might be a
Canggu's.
quiet spot now. There's lots of hotels around there.
Yeah.
Away from the hustle and bustle.
I mean, we didn't really get up to much other than just chill by the pool and it's just drink a few bintangs and.
The bintang still tastes shit. no, they're all right. They're all right.
After 3 days, bro, they taste like razor blades, eh? Yeah.
Your first one's always good, but you can't stay on it.
You force it down because you're like, we're in Bali. It'd be
Yeah.
rude not to. Let's
Yeah.
get some
Yeah.
bintangs. Yeah.
Well, that's
Did you
it.
know Radlers are only like 2 or 3%?
Really?
Really?
I never knew that. I was smashing them when I got too used to the bintang.
Yeah.
But they're only 2
That's
or 3%.
disappointing,
It was
isn't it?
disappointing to find out.
Yeah.
I could have just read the label, but I had to find out.
You
back
had too
in
many
Perth.
bintangs before you could read it.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's my pit and peak for the week.
Nice one.
Ben, before we get on to your story, this podcast is sponsored by Kiwi Homes in Perth. Now, Kiwi Homes in Perth are your one-stop shop when it comes to the building process. They'll help you with your finances. So all you fellas on there, on your afterpay and sports bets,
Sports
putting on
bets.
terrible multis, get off that. All right?
Get on the Dolphins, whānau.
They'll help source your land, all right, find you a nice piece of land, and they will also help you with the design of your very own dream home.
Everything.
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 So if you're someone that's sick of rent inspections, like myself, I've got one coming up. And I need to get in the garden tomorrow. Or if you're sick of spending your hard-earned cash on rent, then get in touch with Kiwi Homes in Perth on Facebook, or you can contact Curtis on 0439 372 166. How do you like that one?
Mention the Hories too, whānau.
Yep.
Mention the
Yep.
Hories.
Mention us.
Quick
and
round
then,
of applause for Kiwi Homes, everybody.
Yes.
Let's
Beautiful.
go. Thanks,
Kiwi
guys.
Homes. Kiwi Homes. Nice. Ben, let's get on to your story, man. Childhood. Tell us about it. How was it?
Yeah, childhood was, I was a kid which just couldn't quite make his mind up what he wanted to do, you know. I was an outstanding student, as in I was always outside standing because I was in trouble.
Yep. Nice.
But yeah, as far as my childhood goes, it was like I was into so many different things, and I never really stuck at one thing in particular for any like long period of time. And then through school as well, I didn't do great in school. I kind of got around the 50% for everything.
That's enough.
Barely passing.
That's enough. That's enough.
So you just get degrees or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what I was good at during school, what I enjoyed was sport and media.
Yep.
And now I make YouTube videos around sport and health. So it's
for a living.
For a living.
For a living.
Yeah. So I think it's no surprise to me that pretty early on you could tell what direction I was kind of heading in, because I tried so many different things. It was only a couple which really stuck out. Yep. Had a great family life. Parents are great.
Yep.
Got 2 older sisters, 1 younger brother. Love them to bits. And just tried a lot of different sports growing up. Couldn't make my mind up with that kind of thing. But I think it made me a pretty well-rounded athlete. And when it comes to Ninja Warrior, you kind of need a lot of different skills.
Yeah.
So I was a kind of jack of all trades, master of none. And then when Ninja came around, I was like, all these random juggling skills and magic that I used to learn as a kid to get the women, which obviously didn't work very well. Might come in handy with this Ninja Warrior thing coming on. So, I think childhood was generally okay. Definitely went through a lot of years of bullying though. Which is the more serious side to it. So
At 6'4".
definitely wasn't 6'4" back then. So I was. I wasn't small, but I definitely wasn't a tall or big guy or anything like that. I was very skinny, ginger kid, and I just got picked on a lot. I was an easy target. And so I think as much as that sucked during those years, especially high school, it's like I wouldn't want to change it because it made me who I am today. And it sounds so cliche, but unless you've lived through it, that's exactly how life works. I was forced that kind of challenge in life and to learn a few things. And now I feel grateful that I can kind of do that for other people. Not bully other people, I mean help other people.
Help other people.
Adversity adds value. Whānau, you've heard that on the last podcast as well. Coach Job, wisdom right there. Adversity adds value.
Exactly. So, it's a bit of my childhood.
You Perth boy?
Perth boy. Pretty much been Perth my whole life. Spent a couple of years in Brisbane last 2 years. But other than that, moved back here. Nice, comfortable Perth. And you guys Perthers, or like you obviously got strong heritage or background,
or from New Zealand.
Or
Kiwi boys, but we've been here like 10 plus years. Myself,
part of the furniture now, bro.
Sure.
Perth furniture now.
Yeah, what do they call us? Mozzies, hey?
Mozzies, mouldy Aussies.
Oh, really?
Mouldy Aussies. That's the word.
Like the plastic mouldy, they reckon.
Yeah, sure. Well, if you're in Australia, they'll give everyone a name, so you just have to come along with the package.
What school were you at?
I went to Floreat Park Primary, and then I went to high school was Shenton College.
Shenton College, yep.
Yeah, so it's a good public school. It's like twice the size now as when I was there.
Yep.
And all the kids get free laptops and all the cool stuff.
Yeah,
but
for a public school too.
Yeah, fancy, I know. But I liked it apart from getting bullied. But I think anywhere you go at that age, it's going to happen. So generally, it was a pretty good school though. Yeah.
Did the bullying happen right through your high school years? Did it?
Yeah, pretty much. Like it was a very quick transition between going from primary school, where everyone's like happy-go-lucky and stuff like that generally, and then as soon as I got into high school, pretty quickly people started to kind of make me feel like I was really different, and and it pretty much went from year 8, 9, 10. 9 was the worst by far. I went to band camp, played the trumpet. I'm ticking all the boxes for someone that's trying to get bullied, But
you struck me as you struck me as someone that's quite witty. You're quite good with your words as well. So
thank you.
Could that have come back to you being a smart ass as well, bro?
No, I think once again it's like as a as a younger boy, I was always like that. The videos of me popping up as a young boy was like, that kid's got ADHD right there. You can see it. You know, he's kind of he's got a lot of energy and his mind's working fast and stuff. And I was always a bit silly. I didn't take myself so serious. But as soon as you get to kind of high school and people kind of put you in a box, it's kind of, then it's hard to break out of that a little bit.
Man, in high school.
Yeah. So it wasn't until after when I was like, stuff this, I'm just going to be myself and do my thing. And then I started to kind of break out of that again. And I think this is just my normal state. So yeah.
Nice.
What were you doing to like kind of get through those periods, you know?
Yeah, it's always the question, isn't it? It's like what do you do, or what's the advice to kids which may be going through it? I think like number one, definitely I had at least even just like one friend which you know is solid. Like that helps immensely. But if you have a 2 or 3 or a small group of friends which really help, like actually let them know how you're feeling. And it's weird because as a kid you don't do that. You're like, oh no, they're gonna laugh at me or whatever. But just realize that everyone has weird feelings and emotions and goes through stuff, and someone's got to start talking about it at some point. It's not like people escape life without having some downs, you know. It's impossible. So for me, it's definitely like mentioning it to a couple of key friends and knowing that they have my back. They're not going to fix it, but just knowing that now I'm not alone with this kind of stuff is kind of nice. You know, the advice like tell a teacher and stuff, unfortunately, it didn't really work. It doesn't work. You're afraid that they're going to make it worse. And it's kind of like, for me, it's changing my perspective on who the bully actually is. And I changed it from like someone that I was afraid of and who I held up here to then someone I realized actually is probably someone that needs help. And they're actually way down here. You know, they're actually probably super low. There's probably a lot going on in their life and this and that. And so to not be afraid, but to almost be empathetic and want to help them out. Like that's how I see it now. Like feel like I'm bulletproof when someone says something to me or is trying to be mean. I'm just like, bro, I want to give you a hug. Let's talk about it. Like, why are you saying this? Like, why are you being this kind of person? What's going on? You know, and it sounds so weird. It's like, why would you be empathetic to people which are trying to tease you? But I honestly feel like it takes the power away from them.
So social media, Facebook trolls and stuff like that. It's like, why?
Totally. I love it, man. Like I love that stuff when people hit me up and they're trying to be mean or say something nasty. Like I kill them with kindness. Yeah. And it works. It really works. You know, it's crazy.
Gary Vee talks about that too.
Yeah. He does.
He does.
Like you've taken some time out of your day to really have a crack at someone. You know? Like, and how many times a day are you doing that?
Yeah.
How many times a week are you doing that? That's a lot of energy, a lot of time,
I've literally had people hit me up in my inbox replying to some sort of story or something I've done and just like mean stuff, like really nasty stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I kind of come back and go, hey, bro, thanks for reaching out, man. Like, hope you're having a wonderful day.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? He's like, no, screw you. It's not that. Blah, blah, blah. And then I come back and I say it again. And I'm like, hey, man, if you ever want to chat, let me know. And then like a week later, he hit me up and he's like, oh, hey, man, I just want to say like I really apologize. And I actually really appreciate all those nice things you said. I was having a really rough day. My dad did this and this and this. And he's like, I just want to say thanks. Like, I really apologize. Hopefully you can forgive me. And I was like, there it is. I was waiting for it. But there it is, you know. So, yeah.
Nice. Great advice there. Kill him with kindness.
Kill him with kindness.
It's easier than done, but
okay, so after high school, where did we go?
Jim's mowing.
Jim's mowing.
Yeah.
Jim does a hell of a lot these days.
Jim's
everywhere.
Actually, the actual guy Jim's a bit of a maniac. I think he's.
Really?
I think he's been bankrupt like 4 times, and he finally came across this kind of franchise and it seemed to work. But so Jim's Mowing was where I started. My boss, Audrey, shout out to Audrey. And so I pretty much I wanted a gap year. I wanted to go travel and do some stuff and earn some money. So just got on the mowing tools and did just like the 9 to 5. It was more like 7 till 5 or something. And just earned a lot of money doing that.
It's quite lucrative, isn't it? Like a lot of people need their hedges trimmed.
Best kept secret, man.
And lawns mowed. I've got a couple of clients that are, like, they just choose whenever they want to mow people's lawns, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And no matter what happens in the world, the grass is always going to grow. So during COVID and everything, mowing men were fine. Turned to be millionaires. So I started there. I learned a lot from that, as you do, just like jumping into the workforce to a degree. Then did a bit of like my own kind of mowing business solo, which was way more stressful, way harder. I kind of stopped enjoying that because I just got lonely, to be honest. I was just on my own all the time. I was like, man, I need to be around people. And then worked for my dad for a while, then did a PT. Got my qualifications. Realized pretty quickly after that I didn't want to be a PT, but I still wanted the qualifications for like group training. I did F45, which I know you spoke about with the last guest, and then Ninja Warrior training and stuff like that. So I've worked a lot of different jobs, videography and stuff as well. I just try everything.
Everything.
Really. Yeah. I'm not the I'll go study this for 6 years and then do that for the rest of my life kind of person.
Yep.
I'm always chopping and changing. So
We've got a photographer role going if you need, bro.
There's a spot. Do I have to fight him for it because he looks like a pretty big guy?
Fight him for his vape.
Okay, so music. Obviously, you're a music producer as well. When did that come into play?
I've kind of always done
obviously Bandcamp as well.
Bandcamp. Yeah, dropped the trumpet for some DJ decks. You know, I realized the trumpet wasn't doing it for the ladies. So, I think
I saw one movie where Bandcamp could be quite lucrative.
that's true. Yeah. I think that's what I was basing it off as a kid. These movies aren't real. The Jeff Arkin vouch, so they're not real. At least not for me anyway. So, music came around. I think, to be honest, when I was probably in primary school, went to SciTech. And anyone listening that doesn't know what SciTech is, like a science museum, right?
Awesome.
And they had a room there where you could kind of put some beats together and stuff. And I remember just doing that, and it was just like, it blew my mind. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And then a few years later, when I was a little bit older and had a little bit of money, I think I just bought a program on my computer. And I think it was the one that Skrillex was using at the time. And I was like, I love Skrillex, so I got to do what he does. And just from there, just started the slow journey of just figuring out like how to do this, how it works, how to put beats together.
Self-taught,
just all self-taught off YouTube, really. And then, it's a slow grind. It's very, very, very difficult to kind of get the ball rolling. But eventually, I think I had a bit of a break when I got signed to a record label in the UK for drum and bass. I was making a lot of drum and bass.
Yeah, nice.
And going to those kind of scenes and stuff like that, events. And I got signed to a record label over there, and which is highly recognised here in Australia as well. And I remember being at an event, and one of the other artists on the label had been flown to Perth, and I was like, oh, sick, I'm on the same label as this guy. I got to meet him, And I'm sitting there watching, and this other guy next to me is like, oh, like, do you know, you ever seen this guy, Tantrum Desire? I was like, I'm on the same label as him. And this guy's like, wait, what? You are? And he ended up being the promoter of all of the clubs and everything.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, dude, what the hell? Like, where's your music? Did you make music? I'm like, yeah. And I sent it over to him the next day. And then literally like 2 weeks later, he'd set me up with my own EP launch at one of the clubs here. And it just went like bang like that. And I was like, oh, okay. This is kind of cool. This is fun.
Yeah.
And then, from there, it was pretty much just trying to produce lots of music. And once again, I enjoyed too many different things though. So
what genre? What sort of genre did you enjoy?
Yeah, I think I was back then. It was mainly drum and bass. I was known for, but I made a lot of house music or just nice piano stuff as well. Silly stuff with fart noises in it, like literally anything. If TikTok was around back then, I think I would have absolutely enjoyed it. But so what kind of music are you boys into? Like, what's the go-to?
Reggae for me, eh?
Okay.
Reggae. Oh, I'm a massive Fisher fan, bro.
Oh
I love Fisher, eh, bro?
Who doesn't? He's killing it.
I like old school hip hop.
Yep.
I've been into my old school hip hop
for sure. A bit of Biggie.
Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z.
Of course,
I love all that.
Got to respect that. I mean, who doesn't like that stuff? Let's be honest.
100%.
Yeah. So no, music's been a pretty big part of my life throughout. So, but I took a big break when Ninja Warrior came around, and I was like, oh man, I can't do all this at once. It's taking too much of my time and energy. But it's been a few years now after Ninja, or a couple of years of doing Ninja, and I'm now jumping back into the music. So that's kind of my next goal, I guess. But we'll see what happens. Watch this space. I'm sure a lot of people say it. Young artists are like, I'm going to make it. And then you're checking them in 6 months or a year, and they're working at McDonald's. So
I think you just need that one TikTok reel sound, bro.
Literally, man, literally.
The trending sound,
that's what it takes.
That's all it takes, bro.
Yep. Did you make much money from music?
I know there's a lot of money to be made in music, but it's kind of like that the pyramid where at the top earn the big bucks.
Yeah.
And I've talked to people, I know friends which can make 10 grand off one show.
Yeah.
But the most I would have made is probably got free flights and accommodation to Adelaide or Brisbane, and then $500, $600 or something like that.
Okay.
But mate, like that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think that's for me, and especially
Experiences over money.
At that stage, I'm like, dude, free flight,
that's sick,
accommodation,
mad.
Yeah. So we'll see. But there's definitely money to be made. But once again, like in the creative space, you don't do this stuff for money. There's no way you can make it to the point of making a lot of money if you're just driven by money. Because it's so hard, and you have to be creative all the time and meet the right people and write good music. And
that's everything in life, though.
Dude,
Just have that passion, experiences.
Exactly.
Over money,
Exactly.
Nice. All right, let's move on to the health and fitness journey. So you said you're right into your fitness from a young age. You were playing sports.
Playing, lots of different sports. So because of my height, basketball, definitely. I'm just bad at team sports, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
I just don't know where to be and what positions and stuff. Right. I just couldn't. I was bumping into my own teammates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I played a bit of basketball, football, did lacrosse, did swimming, did athletics, did t-ball.
Yeah.
I did a lot of different
trades.
Things. Yeah.
Like you said. Yep.
Yeah, but obviously, I never stuck at any of them. So.
I saw lacrosse on that same Bandcamp movie as well, bro.
That's true. I was trying all the tricks. I was part of the lacrosse team. Had my trumpet going.
Some American Boy vibes, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I've watched that too many times.
So, gym, big part of your life? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When did you start? Kind of.
I think it was maybe for like my 14th birthday, I asked for a set of weights. I was just like, I just want some weights. I want to get big and strong. That was probably around the time I was getting bullied, to be honest. And I was like, I just want to be able to protect myself and feel more confident in myself. And my parents bought me some weights, which is cool. And then it kind of started from there for a few years, kind of doing what you can, body weight stuff, bit of that, but nothing major. Yeah. And it's hard to build a bit of size anyway when you're that young. But then when I got to like 18, 19, I pretty much just out of school just smashed the gym, like in the weights room. It was Fitness First, which I'm pretty sure it's still around somewhere.
In the Lewis,
no, this one was in Florida. It's now Good Life. Florida Forum. But just you boys know what it's like. You get in there and you start learning all the sets, reps, diet stuff, all of that, brown chicken and rice and broccoli, and just going for it like 6-7 days a week, just trying to put on as much size as possible. And it worked. It worked. So I was probably heavier back then than I am now. I was about just over 90 kilos, and now I'm like 87. So and it built up my confidence like crazy. It was one of the best things ever. And I think when it comes to weights and putting on some muscle and stuff like that to feel more confident, I think at the time my motivation was, I was like, I'm getting bullied, I'm getting no girls, like I just want to be part of the cool crew and just feel like I'm part of something here and have more confidence in myself. And so my drive was like to impress girls and to defend myself, I guess, in a weird way, which sounds like two silly things to be motivated by. But at the time, actually, it helped a lot. I'm not motivated by that anymore.
It's just the way that we're. It's in our DNA.
It is.
That's how we crave drive, we crave discipline, and we crave masculinity. And I think a lot of these younger kids these days are missing out on that as well. So you're quite lucky that you're able to move into that space, bro.
Early on,
I agree.
Anyway. I think there's just always a caveat to that, which is like if your main goal is purely about your self-image, that can be dangerous because it's like, are you ever happy? Yep. And that's kind of on that treadmill of like, I just always want to get bigger and stronger. I'm still not good enough. And so you kind of got to catch yourself at some point and go, oh, hold on. Like, I'm actually, look at me now. Yep. I'm doing fantastic. So instead of comparing yourself to, to someone else, it's compare yourself to your previous self, I think is the way forward.
You versus you.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, it helped to build up my confidence. And then eventually I was like, okay, well, it's not fulfilling me as much anymore, just adding more weights onto the bench press. So why don't I use this body for something?
I could imagine like with Ninja Warrior, you would have done a bit of calisthenics.
Yeah, for sure. Are you guys done Cali stuff before?
That's
your go-to?
All I used to do, because I used to lift weights because I play rugby league. So contact sport, you need to put some weight on, but I used to just get bored of, just adding weight, just lifting, same movements. And then I used to watch calisthenics stuff all the time on YouTube.
Yep. What kind of channels or what kind of people, like Chris Harrier?
Yep.
Yeah.
Chris Herrier, and I just a lot of Bar Stars.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
This
yeah,
was way back.
Yeah, this is old school stuff.
Yeah. And then I found Movement Co.
Oh,
in,
sweet. Yeah.
Osborne
Great place.
Park.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just started training there, and then.
Was it you that said you got your flag recently?
Oh, that was a while ago. Yeah,
Okay.
I got my
You still
human
got it,
flag.
or?
Nah, I haven't done it in a while. Like,
Okay.
because I ended up getting a bloody shoulder impingement. Just too much muscle ups and just too much,
Of course.
and that kind of damaged me. But I haven't been back in a while. But anyway, so you would have done a bit of Cali stuff.
Yeah. Moved into Cali stuff at some point. I think I transitioned because I did. I pretty much went from weights to. Then I tried CrossFit.
Yep.
For about 9 months, and I got like crazy into that. And
It's
then
addictive. It's very.
Oh, it is.
addictive.
Yeah, I still do it now.
Yep.
To be honest, like I think I'll do it forever.
Yep.
It's one of those things where it's a sport, it is, but I treat it more of just like a general way of staying extremely fit.
Yeah.
Like I'm the fittest I've ever been in my entire life when I'm doing CrossFit
Yep.
because it's just the cardio aspect as well as all the weights and stuff. But so I did that for like 9 months, and that I learned a lot of the fundamental movements of like kipping and swinging and doing muscle ups and and a lot of that body weight and calisthenic stuff.
Shoulder impinging.
Yeah. Getting injured and but then Ninja Warrior came around, so it was announced kind of. This gym opened up in Osborne Park around where we are now. Called
What year is this, bro?
2015, 16?
Yep.
Yeah. And then Ninja Academy in Osborne Park opened up, and my mate was like, "Oh, come check this out," and I checked it out, and it pretty much changed my life. That gym, so
nice.
It really did. So.
Ninja as in movements or the nunchucks and all that sort of stuff, bro?
Exactly, yeah. To get into Ninja Academy, you have to climb up a rock wall and, no, not really. But yeah, that place is phenomenal. And it was just like, and I'm sure maybe you guys can relate, but sometimes going to a regular gym, people are intimidated to go there. Maybe having you as trainers would help. But a lot of people walk into a gym and they're like, I don't know what to do. Everyone's intimidating. I don't know who to talk to. And when I walked into Ninja Academy, it was just like a community. It felt like family. Everyone's doing weird stuff all times, like handstands over there, flips, aerial stuff. And I was like, wow, this is cool. I feel like I can just be me, do my thing, and no one's judging me. So it kept me around for a long time.
That's exactly how I felt when I went to movement. At the beginning, I was quite intimidated just seeing like some of the moves they could do, the flags and the handstands.
Fit guys there.
Yeah. But then actually going in, it's actually like a community, real welcoming, and it's I love the movement
I
culture.
feel like a lot of gyms are just in general are trying to head in that direction though, because it makes the biggest difference.
The way that I make money is my niche is I grab people who have done nothing in their whole entire lives, and I make them feel a part of a community.
Yeah.
So like they'll never ever walk in anywhere and feel a part of a community. People that when they first start up.
Yep.
And that's my niche. Is I grab them and I put them into my community.
That's good.
And just teach them the basics.
Yeah.
The basics that they're never ever going to come into Movement Co. And that's fine. But I can grab them and put them in that new space for them and their new community.
Yeah.
And that's that niche that I'm sort of involved in.
Yeah, it's good. And sometimes that's all it takes is like once that happens once for them, they'll have a different perspective when they move into a different hobby that they have or whatever it might be, or a different gym and a different location. They'll go, oh, that one time, actually that guy Will introduced me to that. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be so intimidated to try something else new because I'm sure there's a community there as well.
Yep.
So like I just started doing tennis recently
right.
and I didn't know a single person. I rocked up to the club and I was like, I don't know, I just want to start doing tennis. I've never done it. And here I am like 6 months later and some of the closest people I hang out with every single week are from tennis, like
nice.
that I chat to and this and that. I'm like, man, I didn't even know these people existed 6 months ago. And now I'm catching up with them more than anyone else. So it's cool, man. It's out there. Yeah.
Ninja Warrior. So talk us through the process, like to actually get into Ninja Warrior.
You guys want to get in? You want the secrets? You want the goss? How much money you got?
I'm going to trial out, man.
do you have like do you got to do like a train and trial kind of thing or interview or what?
Yeah, so there's first is like a strip search. You have to get naked and they
you'll be keen, eh?
Squat and cough.
The old cough.
Just to check if you got any ninja stars under there. The first thing is like an application online, like everything else. It takes forever, and then they'll call you into a physical trial, which actually is kind of difficult. They change it every year, but generally I think year one it was like 5-minute plank was the first thing, bang, straight into a 5-minute plank. And I don't know if anyone's tried to do a 5-minute plank, but it's damn hard.
Yeah, it is,
You don't have to finish it, but they just see, they're kind of looking for, one, how strong you are, but two, how much like energy and enthusiasm you have while you're doing it. Like, are you just sitting there in silence going, oh, this sucks? Or are you trying to get everyone involved and have a good time?
Yeah.
And then they'll test things like swinging and lâcher between a bar to bar. They'll do a bit of hopscotch to check your like coordination. And then they'll just do a kind of massive burnout workout, upper body, biceps. So just lots of pull-ups, hanging, swapping arms, this, that, and just absolutely cook your arms. All while they're just staring at you, all the producers and everything. Just staring at you, watching, writing notes on your personality and your fitness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what gets you on the show is your personality, I would say. I would say that's probably, you can get on the show with a great personality and not being crazy fit, but you can't get on the show if you're crazy fit, but you got nothing to say.
Yeah.
So it's a TV show at the end of the day, and
it's a drama series.
Yeah, it is a bit. It's a
drama series where some people might do some obstacle courses as well.
Yeah, that's right.
That's TV.
Yeah, precisely. So, what would your boys' angle be, you reckon? If you had to have, like, I'll give you an example. My angle season 1 was DJ.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a DJ from Perth, and they filmed shots of me in Connections like DJing.
Yeah.
And they never use the footage, obviously, but they'll waste your time filming it, and then they'll never use it. But what would your what do you think you'd go for? Oh. And don't say personal trainer, because they absolutely hate that.
Nah. What did
the overweight?
I guess you could just say,
I know what Levi said when he got on. He said he used his Māori background.
I was going to say just a couple of Māori boys.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see an Aboriginal guy on there too. He was quite good.
Yeah, Jack Wilson.
Yeah.
Deadly Ninja.
Yeah. That was cool marketing too.
Yeah. And that's him though. Like, he's not putting that on. Like that's him. He's through and through loves his culture. So good guy.
Yeah.
And I remember Levi actually saying that when he went on there, I don't know, they were going to introduce him as the Māori warrior or something. And then they asked him to do a haka as he walked out. But then he told them no, because his first thought was, fuck that, the boys are going to give me shit if they see me doing a haka on TV. But to be honest, if that was the angle I was to go through, that's what I'd do.
Yeah, you kind of got to play it up a little bit for the camera. It's good. You got to be proud,
Yeah, well, that's it.
It seems silly on TV, but at the end of the day, like, people watching them, they'll get some value from it. So
Oh, we're proud. It's just our friend circle group that will roast us.
I get it.
Forever.
That's all I'm thinking too.
Forever.
Like, say something cool to the camera. I'm like, oh man, like, Fred's gonna hate this, or like I'm thinking of that one person which is gonna be.
I don't want to see this memory on Instagram come up everybody.
There's 10 of the boys who just want to stay away from me for that stuff.
Okay, so do they? Well, yes. So, did they tell you to like create a character when you go out and things like that to? Put it on.
It's tough. So they'll do a pretty good job, and I learned after the first couple of seasons they do a good job of really trying to like get that out of you during the interviews. Like during the kind of, you sit there and it's kind of like this, and you've got lights and cameraman or whatever, and there's just one producer sitting there. Usually they call story producer, where they've already got a story in mind for you, and they're trying to ask certain questions for you to say certain lines related to that kind of story arc that they want for you, and you don't really know what it is. You have a small idea, but I'll notice sometimes, like after the first couple of seasons, I was like, man, I regret a lot of the stuff I keep saying, because it sounds arrogant, and I don't want to feel arrogant. I'm just happy to be here. I'll give the course a crack. If I do well, great. If I don't, that's okay. That's kind of my attitude. And they don't want that though. They want you to be like, I'm here to crush it. I'm going to take down the opponents, and I'm going to win this thing. And I'm like, I don't want to say that, because I don't feel that. Like, so... but all they need is a couple lines, and that's all. They'll use it, and that's what I hated. So I think season 3 was the first season where I was like, refused. I was like, I'm not saying those things, like, because I just feel stupid saying them, and you're pushing me as this like big, the hero of Ninja Warrior, Ben Polson, and blah, blah. I was like, I just feel silly. Like I'm actually a really silly guy. Like I just I joke around and stuff all the time. I'm not this big like, let's go, I'm going to crush the course. And so But yeah, so I had like there's one interview I remember it just got super awkward, and it's like you're sitting there, it's like silent like this, and you're doing an interview, and she's asking questions, and I'm like, I don't want to say that, and they're like, well, think of something else to say. I'm like, I don't know what else to say. Ask me a different question. She's like, I'm not going to ask you a different question. You're going to have to answer this one. And I was like, well, I guess we're not talking then, are we? Because I'm not going to answer it. And then it just went silent, and there's like sound guy there, there's this guy there, and it was just like tense. And I was like, is this what it's come to? Like you're trying to force me to say certain things I don't want to say, and yeah, anyway, I'm sure that's like nothing compared to what maths or Married at First Sight or something do with, but it's TV, man, and they're trying to get that story. So
want to put bums on couches, eyes on the screen.
Exactly. They know what works at the end of the day, but not everyone always cooperates. So
like hearing all that, did it mentally take a toll?
Oh yeah, man. Dude, like ninja is like 70% mental. Like, I swear, like most sports are, to be honest. But I think ninja in particular because it's one and done. Mm-hmm. You got one chance. If you fall, your foot touches the water, your hat drops off and it falls in the water. Didn't it? It did happen to me. My feet, I was so tall that I jumped on one obstacle, the salmon ladder, and I like hung my arms out straight to kind of rest for a second before I went on it. And my toes were in the water already. So it was just I was too tall. So it's one and done. So it's pretty brutal on the mind because it's you train all year and you make one little mistake and then your season's over. It's done. Yeah. So it's pretty. It's not like tennis where you can kind of come back. You hit a few bad shots, but you can still win. And it takes a toll on your mind big time. I see a lot of people like straight up hit like, depressive states after because they just like can't deal with the failure because they trained all year and then they just made a silly mistake and they're like, I don't know how to handle this. Yeah. So it's that's the stuff you don't see. The green. I tell you, if you want to know ninja, you got to look at the green room, which is the post room after we compete. You go in there. That's ninja. Yeah. That's all the raw emotions of ninja, of all the ninjas that have succeeded, which is usually very few on the night, and all the people that have failed that are sitting there either crying on their phone to whoever, their partner, or just beaten up and devastated, tired, just want to go home. Yeah. Don't want a part of it anymore. So it's brutal, and that's what the show doesn't want to show you. But when if I hit a buzzer on the show, the last thing I want to do is necessarily walk into the room and celebrate. Yeah. Because there's so many people that are down. And so like to some friends, I'll be like, stoked. But generally, I'm like, I don't want to be rude to everyone else. So I'm just going to kind of keep it cool and calm, collected. Because I got to respect that most people here are actually devastated. Yeah. So anyway, not to bring it down, but it's the reality of sport and everything. It's not all. It's not all sunshine. Glamour. Yeah. There's a lot of that though. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of good moments. Yeah. Some of those peaks for sure.
Yeah. Would be. How are you like mentally preparing for an event? Like obviously you got the crowd, you got the cameras, you got the lights, you got everything. Like how are you mentally getting yourself ready for something like that?
Good question. Yeah. I think for me, one was like visualization. So it's kind of like a meditation.
Visualization?
Yeah. Yep, same. So
there's just a study that come out at the moment about the visualization and like I'll have to find it. I'll post it on the page, but it's just been released on that meditative state, the visualization of you moving into something. The psychology with rugby players and stuff like that as well. I'll find it.
I'm
sorry to cut him, bro.
No, it's good, man. I'm glad there's more stuff, more research into it because, I listened to different podcasts and I read one particular book, The Art of Mental Training, I think it's called. I learned it in that, and they were kind of like, just try it. Just try like before you do a competition, sit in a quiet spot and just visualize yourself, imagine yourself going through the ninja course or whatever sport it is that you're doing. But the thing is, which I really liked, is that like, don't just visualize yourself doing it. Visualize yourself succeeding and actually hitting the buzzer at the end and try and really feel those feelings of like how stoked you're going to be when it's going to happen. And that's kind of the second half of it. A lot of people can try and think about what they want to do on the course, but not a lot of people actually sit back there in silence or with music on, away from everyone, and visualize like the future. There's a bit of manifestation going on where it's like, I'm visualizing, I'm going to do this, that's going to happen, this is going to happen, I'm going to hit the buzzer, I'm going to look over there, celebrate to these people and just feel awesome. Yeah. And as I'm sitting there in that meditative state, I'm genuinely feeling stoked. I'm like, now I'm excited. Yeah. Like it's going to happen. It's already happened. Time just hasn't caught up yet. So oh man, it's helped me phenomenally. Like in Ninja, it builds confidence going into the course, feeling like it's not the first time I've done it. I already know what's going to happen. I'm just now executing. So, yeah.
A lot of elite athletes are, using that same like visualization. Like Israel Adesanya talks about it before his title fight. Like he visualized everything, what he was going to do in this corner of the ring. What punch he was going to throw here. Conor McGregor, LeBron James, like all the elite.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when you hear the elites, I know. I think there was I was hearing about LeBron James.
Yeah,
and like he's waking up crazy early in the morning and just doing a lot of visualization before. And I was like, man, they're not doing it for no reason.
Yeah.
They're doing it because it works.
The All Blacks actually have a psychologist who actually sit down with players, and they sat down with Dan Carter and just got him to do meditation and just walk through the whole kick. I'm going to use my left leg. I'm going to bend my knee, hinge my knee here, and I'm going to strike the ball at the bottom. And you just keep talking to yourself, and you start connecting neurons just by sitting in that visualization, that meditative state. Like
Definitely.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
And they have a psychologist for the All Blacks just for those small things as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure for mental health and that as well. But that was one of the things that he incorporated into the All Blacks, and Dan Carter was a bit of a guinea pig for that as well. So it was pretty cool to hear that sort of stuff.
I mean, you just imagine, like, I'm sure we've all had dreams before, and you don't know you're dreaming at the time, and it feels real.
Wet ones.
Hey, don't say that. I've been on a 30-day no fap, and I'm scared it might happen sometime soon. So, I got to hold on a couple more days.
Hey, really, bro?
Yeah.
Wow, good on you, bro.
First time ever that I've tried that. I was chatting with a mate. Different topic now, but let's go for it. Chatting with a mate. I won't say who to keep his name safe, but and we we're kind of talking about how we're just getting all these dopamine hits from like Instagram and this and that, and I was like,
it's
man,
unnatural.
It's unnatural.
Bro.
Yeah. And I thought, oh man, I think one thing I could probably do without and just try to withhold from is the nofap. And I was like, let's try it. Like let's do it together and see if we can kind of keep each other accountable.
Yeah.
And we had $100 bet. If someone fails, they got to pay the other one $100. And it's almost been at the 30-day mark now. So to be honest, like I thought it'd be crazy difficult, but I've kind of just been living life, Yeah. So it hasn't been.
Oh yeah.
Hasn't been crazy. Oh wow, what's all this? Holy moly!
Fucking sky.
You see this shit? Wow. So, but yeah, that's one thing I'm afraid of is waking up and being disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
I wish you well for day 31, man.
Yeah, thank you. You hear an explosion from your house in Bunbury.
Fuck. Where were we?
But anyway, so visualization.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to visualize certain things in this 30-day journey at the moment. But when it comes to sports, visualization's been crazy helpful.
Yeah.
And I was saying, with dreams, it's like sometimes you're in a certain dream and your brain really doesn't know if it's reality or not. And you feel like sometimes you wake up and you're so emotional. You're like, wow, all of that happened just because I was thinking about it.
Yep.
And so that's kind of like what visualization is, but using it for positive. So, it's tough though.
Nice. Being the first winner. How was that, man? Talking about endorphins before, dopamine hit.
Yeah, dopamine hits. Talk about a peak. It was pretty surreal. It was one of those things where the first couple of years of Ninja, I was just there to do it for fun. But I performed kind of quite well those first 2 years. So then season 3, I was like, maybe I should take this serious. Like what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for someone else to kind of win it all, to know that it's possible. Like I think a lot of people do that because when you're in a sport where literally no one's finished it, it's like, is it even possible? You kind of ask that question. And I was talking to someone we brought up earlier, which is Jack Wilson, the Deadly Ninja. And he was like, oh, bro, you in it to win it this year? I was like, I don't know. I think I'll believe it when I see it. And he's like, no. You'll only see it once you believe it. And he kind of flipped it around. He's like, you have to believe that it's possible for you to win first, and then you'll actually start to see the results. If you don't believe you're capable of winning, you're not going to win, essentially is what he's saying. Yep. And I was like, man, he might be onto something there. And I sat with myself for a while. I was like, what am I waiting for? Is everyone just waiting for someone to accidentally win this show? Because if that's the case, it's, I don't know, someone's got to believe in themselves and go, no, I really, really want this. And so I really changed my mindset and doubled down for season 3. And then I had my worst season ever that season. So, which is tricky because it's like, I doubled down, I focused and this and that, and I trained hard and I was visualizing, and then I just messed up early. But I think what it taught me was like, when I did mess up early, I realized that I was totally okay. And the one thing I was afraid of, which is failure, had finally happened. And I was like, oh, I can handle this. This is actually not too bad. This is fine. So then going into season 4, I was literally afraid of nothing. I wasn't afraid of losing it all because I'd already experienced that. And I was like, let's double down on the winning and see if I can crush this thing. And it all came together. So
Well done, bro.
yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well,
First ever?
Yeah, so the way the show works is they always do hand out a winner every year.
Yeah.
But to win everything, you have to finish every single obstacle without failure.
Yeah.
And usually everyone fails at some point.
Yeah.
So they'll always hand out an award which is the furthest, the fastest. So whoever got the furthest in the show but didn't actually finish everything,
Yeah.
they'll get a prize and some money. And then if you finish literally everything, then you're the grand champion.
Yeah.
So in season 4, there was me and 2 other guys which also did it.
Yeah.
Zach and Charlie. And then it actually just came down to a final 20-meter rope climb. Who could do that the fastest? And your boy came out on top by literally
boy.
1 second.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I was very lucky.
Band camper.
yeah. I played my trumpet from the top.
The 400k cash prize would have been life changing.
Yeah. Oh, dude, totally. Yeah. Like winning that amount of money was absolutely surreal.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy which has literally never had like 10 grand in his bank account at one time.
Yeah.
Always spending it on travel and this and that. Yeah. There's a lot of people out there which are exactly the same. 10 grand's a lot of money. So
Yeah, it is, man.
to have 400,000, it was just insane. So for me, as soon as I bought a few Pokemon cards and crypto, as soon as I wasted it, the vast majority of it just went straight to a financial advisor and
nice.
into a portfolio.
Nice.
And that's kind of where it's sitting at the moment. And then bought a car and gave some to friends and family. And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, nice,
before you
man.
know it, just money goes. But
Money doesn't interest you that way, bro. You got a lot of more passionate things going on in your life. than
I wish
money,
I was
bro.
more motivated by money, to be honest. I think, but I'm very grateful for that kind of financial bump. It's massive. So,
Yeah.
but I think other things motivate me a lot more.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I hate to say it, but we're out of time.
That's all good.
It's all good. But
Yes.
to be honest, I'd love to do a part 2 with you if you're
2.
interested.
Oh yeah,
Because
mate.
we'd love to hear more.
Yeah, I appreciate that, of course,
Yeah,
boys.
especially about your YouTube and everything else you got going on. I feel like we could learn a hell of a lot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, boys, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. It felt like it's gone like that, which is
Yeah,
always a good
it
sign.
is, bro.
Yeah.
Hopefully the listeners enjoyed it too.
Yeah,
Oh, they will, bro.
I'm sure they will.
They will,
I'm
bro.
sure they will. Before we finish though, Joe, your moment, brother.
Ooh, Job Wisdom. This is a goodie too, boys.
Yep.
No, it's Coach Job.
This is a bit of wisdom at the end of the episode, is it?
Bit of wisdom, bro.
That's what he's known for.
Yeah. If you want to waihanger or build, create something worthwhile, be ready for criticism, whānau.
All right.
We spoke about it today. There
did.
it goes. If you want to build something beautiful, be ready for that criticism as well.
And
I
then,
love it. It comes along with it.
Yep.
Yeah, the waihanger to build something.
All right. And then kill him with kindness.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, Ben, we just want to thank you for coming on. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
Really
it,
enjoyed
boys.
this.
You're
Cheers,
absolute
bro.
legends, and hopefully next time I get to meet Levi too.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure, bro. That's why we need a part 2.
Yep.
Of course.
That's
there we
why
go.
we need a part
That's
2.
why we
bro.
need a part
Nice
2.
one.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time.
Cheers, whānau.
Later.
Mm.
Beauty.
Smash it.
Thanks, brother.
Well done, bro.
Appreciate it.
We need a round 2, bro. That was
That was real
Thanks,
good.
brother. Put it there.
that was real good, bro.
Of course, man.
A bit short, eh? It was nothing that's like timing too quick, eh?
Yeah, no, it did. It did
Oh,
go
that's all
too
right.
quick.